G'day, my name's Pete, and in this video I'm going to tell you how to catch the bus between Hobart and Launceston. That's using Tasmania's InterCity service. I'll tell you where the bus goes from. I'll show you a little bit about the route as we travel through the Midlands. I'll also talk about the frequency of the timetables and how to pay your fare. First of all, where do you get on this bus? Well, you get on at the Hobart Transit Centre. Now that's at 230 Liverpool Street, but that's not in the middle of the city. In fact, if you want to walk from the middle of the city, it's about an 850 metre walk or 12 minutes. You might consider getting a taxi, but it's not that far. Now on the way, near the Hobart Transit Centre, there are toilets at Centre Point Shopping Centre. There's also toilets at the Hobart Transit Centre when the transit centre is open. The InterCity service to Hobart to Launceston operates on routes 700, which is an express service, and 702. It is recommended that you show up at the bus stop 20 minutes prior, probably 10-15 minutes would be enough, but you do have to have bookings on most services because these buses are extremely well loaded. They are premier services here in Tasmania. They've got a toilet on board and lots of room for luggage. Now, after winding through the city, let's have a look at the route. Yes, we go through the Midlands, through Kempton, Oatlands, Ross, Campbelltown and to Launceston. Now, if you're travelling to the towns on the way between Hobart and Launceston, please do book. You have to book so the bus goes via these towns. After getting to Launceston, the same bus then goes further through Deloraine to Devonport. You won't have to change buses if you're doing that route. Some vital statistics: it's a 201 kilometre trip and takes 2 hours and 45 minutes approximately. It varies. If you do enjoy this video, please consider subscribing to Tasmanian Bus Journeys and giving me a like. That'd be beaut. I'd really appreciate it. So we travel up the Brook Highway. We can see views of the beautiful Derwent River as we leave Hobart, but soon we do hit the Midlands itself. It's a fairly flat place, but it's always interesting. There's always seems to be some roadworks going on as you go on the Midland Highway. Now, the first place we encounter of note is 80 kilometres out, and that is Oatlands. Oatlands is pure history. I love it. They had big plans for Oatlands in its day. Never quite realised that, but geez, they've left some beautiful historical buildings, and it is such a wonderful place to walk around. Living life, living history. The Oatlands Flour Mill, constructed sometime around 1836. We leave Oatlands and have a look at Lake Dulverton. Wow, it's all happening. 50 kilometres up the road we come to the township of Ross, another delightful historic town. And here we can see the very famous Ross Bridge. It was built in 1836. It's a place I like to just sit and think about life for a minute or two. But wandering around Ross itself is really nice. There's plenty of shops and places to have lunch at. And here we can see the previous operator of the InterCity service. That was Redline. And you see the bus in the Redline coaches livery. A bit different to what it is nowadays because the bus is now operated by Kinetic. If you want to get to Ross, you have to book. It won't go there automatically. 10 kilometres up the road, we have Campbelltown, across the Elizabeth River on the famous Red Bridge, which was constructed in about 1838. Campbelltown is a place you don't have to book for because every bus service goes through Campbelltown. Then it's another 70 kilometres and we reach Launceston, where we find a temporary waiting facility. Most importantly, it is manned by a customer service officer from Kinetic who will help you board intercity buses, and there's our bus just having arrived. It's often quite a few buses there, so be careful you get on the right bus. So let's have a look exactly where the Launceston pickup point is for intercity services both to Hobart and Devonport. On the fringe of the city in Charles Street, to walk to the middle you have to go down Charles Street and then the Brisbane Street Mall to access other bus services. It's about a 550 metre walk, or let's say 8 minutes. Not too bad, I guess. There are certainly toilets in the middle of Launceston, and the most important one is the one near Civic Square. So if you want to go to the toilet between buses, that's where you go. There's also one in business hours opposite. Okay, here we are in Launceston. It's a pretty interesting place, and here is the Launceston Post Office with its amazing tower. A bit further. Launceston Post Office. Here is the imposing Launceston Town Hall. Wow, it's amazing, isn't it? All these beautiful columns. It's a beautiful little spot here in the middle of Launceston, a beautiful waterfall. Whoa. Now the important stuff, the timetables. Monday to Friday, there's 4 services leaving Hobart and 4 from Launceston. It allows a great variety of trips, but there is roughly 4 hours between services, so don't miss the service you're planning for. Weekends and public holidays, there's less services. There's only 2 services which operate consistently between Hobart and Launceston. The good news is most of these go through to Devonport. Now on Sundays and public holidays there is a extra bonus service which I find pretty convenient from time to time. That service departs Hobart at 5:30 on Sunday and public holiday nights, and there's another one that leaves Launceston at 1:30. So if you're travelling up to Launceston from Hobart, what services do I recommend? Well, I'd go crack of dawn at 6 a.m. This is a great service, it's an express bus, and then spend the day and come back on the 6:10. A long day, but it really is worthwhile having a good look around Launceston. Weekends and public holidays, you probably need to do the same thing. The first service at 9:30 and back at 5:15. It's a shorter day if you do it that way. Bus fares, we've got a sale of bus fares, half price bus fares, but whatever you do, please do book because these buses get quite full. The fare is $16.80 for adults one way, double that for two way. Concession fares is just $8.40. Cash and EFTPOS facilities are on board if you don't book, but I really recommend you should book. You can book through Kinetic. They've got a website, and that is also a very good number there. You can ring them up and they'll make you that booking. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it useful, and I look forward to chatting to you next time.